Into the Heart of Advent, Chapter 17, Gifts and Graces. Our Bible reading from the New Revised Standard Version, the Anglicised edition, is from Isaiah 45, first verse 3, then verses 6b to 7. I will give you the treasures of darkness and riches hidden in secret places, so that you may know that it is I, the Lord, the God of Israel, who call you by your name. I am the Lord, and there is no other. I form light and create darkness. I make weal and create woe. I, the Lord, do all these things. You sound angry, says Jesus. Are you angry with me? I stop, momentarily distracted from my rant. I didn't know being angry with Jesus was an option. I'm not exactly angry, I say, but then I realise he's right, and I am. I mean, Jesus wouldn't be Jesus if he wasn't right, would he? It's more that I'm frustrated, I confess to him, by lack of recognition. And he waits, as Jesus always does, as I search deep inside to find the words for what I want to tell him. I get tired of being invisible and passed over. I get fed up with being belittled and dismissed and ignored, I say. He knows this well, but still I need to tell him. It's not only me, I go on, it's a problem that pervades throughout my family. And then I talk to him about the first Sunday we had this Advent, when most of the children from church were somewhere else, and responsibility intended for a whole group of kids in readings and prayers and lighting Advent candles fell entirely on my grandchildren. And they managed brilliantly. But my heart went out to my grandson. He is 10 and has ADHD. It is almost impossible for him to keep still for 2 seconds together. He grasped that it would be essential for him to actually stay present in the same room as the rest of us, ideally near his allocated chair. So he equipped himself with a wobble cushion and fidget toys from the box we keep at the back of chapel for our neurologically atypical kids. And he fought with all his might to stay with us. It meant he had to lie flat with his back pressed to the floor, one fidget toy in either hand, pressing and squeezing, his face grimacing. He stayed, and he managed his readings and prayers and played a full part in what we did. And then, as the service ended, he pulled his sweater up over his head, curled up under his chair, and wept from exhaustion. And what do they see? Casual bystanders observing our family. A naughty boy who won't sit still. A tall, big lad racing around in church, impulsively hugging his mother and rolling inappropriately on the floor. People cannot see what he brings and how hard he tries. The effort and shining goodwill in his heart is practically invisible. I tell Jesus about it, and he knows. He was there, and he saw, and he understood it all. These are the treasures of darkness, he says to me quietly. Treasures people don't understand, or can't always even see. These are the dark gifts placed into our hands, like the dark kings from the east who offered their frankincense and their myrrh. Of what use is rare and arcane incense to a carpenter who can afford only 2 pigeons for his sacrifice? But they received them, Joseph and Mary. They took the dark, strange gifts into their hands and waited to see what it might mean. These children who are born different, who struggle to find their place, they bring dark graces. They are born to a time of darkness, natives of all that is puzzling and hard to understand. These are dark times humanity is passing through, but in time light will dawn. In the end, these children of struggle will be seen for who they really are, how much they tried, and how dearly they loved, will come to light. So much will be realized that wasn't appreciated at first. But for now, if they're only given the chance, they can help humanity find a way through the darkness, because theirs are the gifts and graces of darkness. Through habituation they breathe its air and know its pathways. If it helps, I know it might not, but if it helps, everything you give, every part of yourself that you offer in humility and generosity, all the work you put in, and how hard you try, I see it. I know it for what it is. I know you do your best. I take into my hands the gold and incense of your offering. I know how costly it is, and how it overflows with meaning. I know you are bringing the choicest wisdom of your heart's love. I do not take it lightly. I receive it and see it for what it is. And perseverance does pay off in the end, but recognition often comes only after it ceases to matter to you. Set it aside. Make your choices according to true and intrinsic value. Don't waste energy on longing to be admired. There are days, and this is one, when I feel so very, very lucky to spend time with Jesus. There is such inexpressible comfort in his understanding. It's like sitting by the fire on a cold night. It's like a candle flame's quiet brilliance dispelling the shadows. He helps me to see things differently. It's not that anything changes in my exterior circumstances. It's more that his presence illumines the inside of me, the private chambers of my heart, the place where I keep hidden what matters to me, as well as where I nurse the wounded places in my soul back to health. I know that even if nobody else can see it, Jesus takes note of my grandson's courage, bravely doing his best. And under the gaze of Jesus, all things are made well.